The Ideal Patient-Therapist Relationship, Part 10 of 15. Who's the therapist and who's the patient? In this house, everyone is both. If you need healing, you have to heal too. The only way it works is if the doctor and the sick person trade places and realize they're the same. Each person who walks into the house brings the other a chance to get well. So the patient helps the therapist, and the therapist helps the patient. God doesn't see two separate people anyway. He only knows one son. In this house, when God shows up, everyone looks in the mirror and sees him. Think carefully who you invite into this house. For therapy is prayer, and the house is built out of prayer. Healing is what the house was made for. It's both the plan and the finished room. Prayer is the doorway that joins two minds into one, so Christ can come in. Psychotherapy is simply opening the front door to him. If you try to fix symptoms without him, it's just moving furniture around. But once Christ steps inside, there's no other choice but to let him stay. With him here, nothing more is needed. Healing, happiness, and peace fill the whole house. And the broken things the patient brought are quietly replaced. What happens in this house is simple. The therapist tells the guest, every mistake is already forgiven, for you and for me. Healing is just this forgiveness taking root. Christ forgives because he knows there was never really anything to forgive. His vision opens the windows and lets the sickness blow away. And once it's gone, it can't come back, because the cause has been removed. This only works when the therapist is advanced enough to join the patient in a holy way. When that joining happens, the walls of separation collapse, and they both live in one room. In this house, there's only one thing that matters. The therapist doesn't confuse himself with the one who built the house. When a healer is unhealed, he makes that mistake. He thinks he built himself. He acts like the house stands because of his own hammer and nails. If he ever really saw that mistake, he'd drop the tools and let God do the building. But before he learns this, he still thinks he's in charge of the whole project. So if a wall caves in, he blames himself. And then guilt rolls in like heavy curtains, blocking out the light that was meant to shine through. When you judge the work by your own plans, guilt is the result. But when the Spirit is the foreman, there's no guilt at all, only light filling every room. The real goal of this house is simple: to let guilt walk out the door and never come back. That's also the goal of forgiveness, and in that you see they're the same thing. But guilt can't leave if the therapist tries to play God for his guest. That would mean knowing every detail of the past, every turn of the present, and every ripple of the future. Only God himself holds that kind of blueprint. No one standing in this little house has that knowledge. To think the tiny self could carry such wisdom is pure madness. And the truth is, many therapists are mad when they try to act that way. No unhealed healer can be completely sane because guilt still fills their rooms. It's just as crazy to refuse the job God gave you as it is to invent a job he never gave. The advanced therapist doesn't doubt the power in this house, and he doesn't doubt where it comes from. He knows all power in heaven and earth belongs to him, not because he built the house, but because the builder put his love inside him. And that love cannot fail. Think about what that means. The therapist has God's own gifts to give away like treasures stored in every room. The guests who enter are saints, even if they've forgotten. They call on the holiness inside him so they can see it in themselves. And when he gives it to them, they look up and see Christ's shining face reflected back like a mirror on the wall. The mad ones act like they're God, but all they really offer their guests is weakness. And what they see in their guests because of this, they secretly fear. The unhealed healer is always nervous about the people who come into his house. He suspects them of the same treachery he carries inside himself. Sometimes he may patch a wall or fix a window, but it never lasts long. Because he doesn't see Christ in the one knocking at the door. And if you see only a stranger, poor and empty, how could you ever give him God? The answer is simple. Look again and behold your God in him. For what you see in him will always be the answer you give. Think about what it really means when two brothers join in this house. In that moment, the world and all its little trophies and losses fade away. The game is over, and nothing of guilt can be remembered. The house itself changes. It's no longer just a room, but a holy temple. Even the street outside turns into a river of stars, flowing past all the sickly dreams. Healing is complete, because what is perfect never needed healing in the first place. And forgiveness disappears, because where there is no sin, there's nothing left to forgive. Be careful, therapists. Make sure you can see what this house is really for. Your only job is to remember your proper role. If you forget this, you deny that God built you, and you won't know yourself as his son. And if you don't know that, who is your brother now? What saint could walk through your door and share your home with you? Lose the way, and you'll expect no answer from him, because you refuse to give one. Heal and be healed. There is no other path that leads to peace. So open the door wide, for your patient has come straight from God. Isn't his holiness enough to wake the memory of him in you?